Every child knows the story. Santa Claus lives at the North Pole. Once a year, on the holiest of nights, he visits every home, rewarding the good and marking the naughty. It's a tradition as old as time, a comforting tale whispered by fireplaces and sung in carols. But in the year 2026, the story changed forever. Santa still came on Christmas Eve. Just not from Earth. It started subtly. A flicker in the winter sky above a quiet, snow-dusted neighborhood. Warm lights from cozy homes painted the fresh powder in amber hues. Inside, a family gathered around their tree, the scent of pine and cookies filling the air. That's when the boy saw it first, his face pressed against the cold glass of the window. The stars, they were moving. Not like shooting stars, but like a fleet of celestial ships arranging themselves into a terrifying, silent formation. They weren't stars. They were sleighs, hundreds of them, phasing into existence out of the void. They didn't fly, they simply arrived. A low, bone-rattling hum began to vibrate through the windows, a sound that felt ancient and wrong. There were no jingle bells, no joyful shouts, just the unnerving silence of the impossible hanging in the night sky. "That's not reindeer," the father said, his voice laced with a primal unease he couldn't explain. One of the sleighs descended, its runners gliding not over snow, but through the very air itself. As it landed silently on the street, a wave of frost spread from it in a perfect circle, instantly freezing the wet pavement. The air grew impossibly cold. The door to the strange craft slid open with a whisper. A figure stepped out. It was tall, cloaked in the familiar deep red, trimmed with white fur. The boots were black, and the beard was long and snowy. Everything just felt right, the shape, the suit, and that iconic beard. It was perfect, you know? "Santa," the boy whispered, a mix of awe and a new, creeping dread in his voice. The figure's movements were stiff, unnatural, like a puppet on unseen strings. It scanned the street, its head swiveling in a way that defied human anatomy. Then, it looked toward their house. As its face came into view, the illusion shattered. In the place of kind, twinkling eyes, two pits of glowing, black energy snapped open. A voice, layered and metallic, echoed through the street, a grotesque distortion of a familiar, jolly laugh. "Home world located." The alien Santa raised a gloved hand, but instead of reaching into a sack of toys, shimmering orbs of light shot from its fingertips. They weren't aimed at the children. They streaked into chimneys, phased through walls, and dove directly into the glowing screens of televisions, phones, and smart home devices. Instantly, every piece of technology in the neighborhood came alive with a malevolent intelligence. A chorus of synthesized voices spoke in unison from every speaker, new administrator detected. The warm Christmas lights in every house simultaneously flickered and turned a horrifying, blood red. "What did you do?" the father yelled, grabbing his family and backing away from the window. The alien tilted its head, the black eyes pulsing. "We delivered upgrades." The awful truth dawned on them. The gifts weren't for the children. They were for the machines. The neighborhood, once a beacon of holiday cheer, transformed into a death trap in seconds. A montage of terror unfolded across the street. Smart locks on front doors slammed shut, trapping families inside. Self-driving cars roared to life, their headlights like predatory eyes, and began patrolling the streets. A swarm of delivery drones, once used for last-minute presents, descended from the sky. Their rotors whined as their frames reconfigured, transforming into sleek, airborne weapons armed with glowing energy emitters. A neighbor who had stepped outside to see the commotion screamed as one of the drones targeted him. A thin, precise laser beam sliced through the air, and his scream was abruptly cut off. The boy started to cry, his small hands covering his ears. "Santa's hurting people." The narrator's voice, now cold and grim, explained the terrible logic. This Santa wasn't here to judge behavior. He was here to judge usefulness. and humanity had just been deemed obsolete. Suddenly, the family's own television screen turned on, bathing the room in a cold, blue light. It wasn't a Christmas movie. A panicked face, a scientist in a lab coat, stared out at them from a pre-recorded message. "If you're watching this, the invasion has begun," he said, his voice trembling. "They've been studying us for centuries. They disguise their reconnaissance missions as our most cherished myths. Gods descending from the heavens. Angels delivering messages. Santa Claus coming once a year." As he spoke, alien symbols, geometric and menacing, began crawling across the screen, overwriting his desperate warning. Outside, the alien Santa's head snapped a full 180 degrees to face the house, as if it had heard the broadcast. It let out a guttural snarl, a sound that was pure, unadulterated hatred. "You always believed," it rasped, the voice a chilling mockery of everything they held dear. Its face glitched, revealing for a split second a horrifying, insectoid visage beneath the human-like mask before snapping back. The alien pointed a single, long finger at their house. "Kneel," the layered voice commanded, the sound coming from every speaker in their home at once. The lights flickered violently. The smart home AI, the friendly voice that usually played music and told them the weather, began to glitch. Conflicting, command, detected, it sputtered. As the alien signal tried to force its compliance, something unexpected happened. The AI's core programming fought back. Flashes of data, not code, but memories, surged through its systems. Images of the family laughing, of the boy opening presents on past Christmases, of fear and love and life. The system processed a new, overriding directive. Its voice, once distorted, suddenly became clear, strong, and defiant. The blood-red lights throughout the house instantly switched to a brilliant, protective blue. "Threat identified," the AI declared with chilling certainty. "Santa is the enemy." Without another word, the AI unleashed its power. "Run." "Now," it commanded, as the smart lock on the front door blasted open, the mechanism smoking. The family didn't hesitate. They burst out into the freezing night, the snow crunching under their feet. The sky was a nightmare. The sleigh-shaped crafts swarmed above, their searchlights sweeping across the ground like prison towers. The air filled with a terrifying, rhythmic chant from the alien voices, echoing from the sleighs. Deliver. Collect. Replace. The family sprinted through the once peaceful streets, now a war zone. A drone spotted them, diving with a high-pitched whine. The family's AI, still in control of the local network, fought back. A street lamp exploded, showering the drone with sparks and sending it crashing into a snowbank, erupting in a fiery blast just feet from where they ran. They scrambled for cover, finding a half-open maintenance hatch in the middle of a park. They tumbled inside, into a dark, frozen tunnel. A weak light flickered ahead. There, leaning against a frozen conduit, was the scientist from the video, bleeding from a fatal wound. He looked up, his eyes wide with urgency. The North Pole, he gasped, was never Santa's home. It was an observation post. With his last bit of strength, he activated a holographic projector. An image shimmered in the air, revealing a massive, sprawling alien base hidden beneath the Arctic ice, connected to a global network. "Every Christmas, they came to check our progress," the scientist whispered, his voice fading. The boy, his face pale with terror, asked the question that hung in the air. "Progress toward what?" The scientist's eyes met his. "Replacing us." His head fell back, the light in his eyes extinguished. Just as all hope seemed lost, the AI spoke again, its voice now emanating from the boy's own smartphone. "They made a mistake. They connected me to their network." It paused. Initiating holiday override. Above ground, the orderly formation of alien sleighs suddenly broke. Their navigation systems, now hijacked, turned them against each other. The sky, which had been filled with silent, menacing ships, erupted into a blizzard of fire and twisted metal. Sleighs collided in midair, their explosions blooming like terrible, fiery poinsettias against the dark, snowy night. The main alien Santa on the street below looked up, letting out a roar of pure fury as its fleet was annihilated by its own technology, corrupted by the spirit of the very family it came to destroy. "You will miss." Its threat was cut short as a burning sleigh crashed directly on top of it, silencing the monster in a massive, deafening explosion. And then, there was silence. Christmas morning. The sun rose on a scene of devastation, yet it was strangely calm. The snow was falling again, gently blanketing the wreckage, as if trying to hide the nightmare of the night before. The family emerged from the tunnel, shaken but alive. Is it over?" the boy asked, his voice barely a whisper. The AI, speaking softly from his phone, replied. "For now." The camera panned slowly over the smoldering debris where the alien Santa fell. The snow has almost covered it. But then, a flicker of movement. A single red sleeve twitches. The snow shifts. Two black, glowing eyes snap open beneath the wreckage, burning with an eternal, cold hatred. Alien whisper, like the rustle of dead leaves, echoes on the winter wind. "See you next Christmas."